Let's round out the year with a trifecta of some of our favorite topics: communist brutality, woke sports hypocrisy, and the man who could be the unlikely hero of a case that has transfixed the world, Mike Pompeo. Now, the Globe has spent the past few weeks following the case of Chinese tennis star Peng Shuai, who went missing for a fortnight after she alleged sexual assault at the hands of a big-time Communist Party boss in China, only to reappear in what has been called a hostage or proof of life video released by Chinese authorities, showing her dining with friends and appearing, at least on the surface, to be fine. But Shui, or more likely government officials, also issued a statement reading, "Hello everyone, this is Peng Shuai. Regarding the recent news released on the official website of the World Tennis Association, the content has not been confirmed or verified by myself, and it was released without my consent. The news in the release, including the allegation of sexual assault, is not true. I am not missing, nor am I unsafe. I've just been resting at home, and everything is fine. Thank you so much for caring about me." Well, of course, that statement is just about as reliable as the hygiene standards of the dodgy dumpling joint down the road that always gets written up in the paper for health code violations. No one with any sense at all was going to swallow it. But if there is a bright side to all of this, it is that the world is waking up, because of this case, to the world of sports, which is so quick to demand that athletes take a knee to fight white supremacy, but now has been willing to kowtow to the Chinese Communist Party just to have access to their market of 1.3 billion fans. The men's professional tennis tour has been labeled gutless for failing to follow suit with the Women's Tennis Association, while the International Olympic Committee has now found itself under increasing pressure to do something, especially given that Beijing is slated to host the Winter Olympics next year. So, enter Mike Pompeo. The former CIA director and Secretary of State has become one of the leading voices standing up for morality in this whole sorry affair. Quote, "The International Olympic Committee has a responsibility to make sure that the host for these games deserves it. The CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, certainly does not. Where the IOC has failed, America must lead," he tweeted the other day. And he's not done. Pompeo, who may be setting himself up for a presidential or vice presidential run in 2024, has also taken out against the National Basketball Association, which is deeply compromised by its relationships with China. Pompeo lauded the Women's Tennis Association's courage this week, saying, "Your turn, NBA." And Pompeo is right. China's vicious behavior and gaslighting of the world does not deserve to be rewarded with an Olympics. Everyone from sporting codes to entire nations are compromised when they make a Faustian bargain with the Chinese Communist Party in exchange for 30 pieces of silver. It is good to hear that both Australia and the Biden administration are at least considering a diplomatic boycott of next year's games so as not to give the regime the respectability it craves. They should follow through, as should the sports stars and leagues that still pander to the CCP. Christmas is a time of hope and renewal, of course, and they could give both an awful lot of hope and renewal this year if everyone involved followed the lead of the Women's Tennis Association and boycotted China. I might even have a crack at watching the game myself.